Recording. We are live.
Yay! Welcome everyone to the WEUplift webinar for today. The topic is the shine and crash syndrome. And my name is Tina. I'm joined today by some very, very beautiful people. You see many on the screen here. Right next to me is somebody very dear to me. Many of you may not have met him yet, but you may have heard me talk about him. He is one of the clearest angel communicators that I've had the pleasure of knowing, and I can tell you, going through these times of transformation, if he wasn't by my side, I would have crashed a lot more, and my ass would be sore from the many times I landed so hard. But he's able to be there and pick me up and patch me back together, and somehow we're able to do that for one another. And so his name is Cok, and so welcome.
Nice to meet you all.
And this is his first time being on a webinar today, so he's very excited. So we're going to have a great time. And the other beautiful angel that is joining us for our time together here is Nalini and MacNab, who you see on the screen also. I've been very blessed to experience Nalini's work and the transformation that she facilitates with her beautiful heart space, and being really guiding me, supporting me, and allowing myself to be held by the Divine Mother and in the heart space. Oh my gosh, I don't know where I would be without these people in my life, these angels. So welcome, Nalini.
Oh, thank you. Well, we don't know where we'd be without you either, Tina. So.
Well, we have a lot of fun together. So, well, let me give a little introduction. And first of all, I also want to honor and thank Malati Drew, the Visionary Whispering Energy, who is enabling us to be here, all of us, and the beautiful Natalie Kimbrough, who you see on the screen, because she is facilitating for us to be able to record this webinar. And yes, so many people come together to make something like this happen. And I honor every one of you for taking the time to be here today. Together we are about to shift through something that I am sure many of you resonate with. And if not, well, then please let me rub you so that I can borrow some of that energy. Because we're talking about the shine and crash syndrome. So how this came into being is that I realized, by going through lots of transformation work myself, going through sharing on Facebook in a bigger way, letting myself be seen, I've had quite a few times where I really wanted to follow my dream and staying true to that, and yet then somehow I'd reach a breakthrough and bang, I'd crash. And the crash would show up in just wanting to hide in a cave and just really not wanting to do this work anymore, having a talk with whoever was listening up there and telling them in, well, I won't say it on here, but in not such nice language what I thought of what I perceived lack of support, and that I wasn't going to do this anymore. And many of those things. And so one day I said, God, is this like the shine and crash syndrome? And we started talking about it because I had a huge crash. I shared about it on Facebook 2 weeks ago or so, a week and a half ago. Cok, who you see here, was able to help me through a huge piece and able to clear that energy on a very deep level. And Nalini also supported me really clearing through the core imprinting of some old stuff that shows up when wanting to let yourself be seen. And so when we started talking about it and this started coming together, realized that, oh, I'm not the only one who has these experiences. And lo and behold, we jokingly say that the divine guidance is amazing in that somehow they line us up to crash at different times, so we're able to pick each other up so we're not all down in the gutter at once. And that's so the power of community. And so by being here together, I would really like to invite Nalini and Cok to share the way that they look at this particular pattern showing up amongst people, and we would love to give you the opportunity also, who are joining us on this call here today, to share your experience or to type in something maybe in the question box of the GoToWebinar. So, one of the things I can share briefly is that, having worked with Cok many times, he's able to tune in and, you get information that whatever is standing in your way, you better be ready to receive it, I suppose. That would be it. It will get cleared. And Nalini obviously does this, a similar way, tuning into the angel channel and having this amazing clarity to support us where we might not see it ourselves. So, who would like to start?
Oh, you're looking at me.
Go for it.
So, the second time, welcome you all. Well, the thing you just already mentioned, Tina, is about that, like, we all kind of experience a final last part to let go, to get into something new. I think it's about two things. What's happening now? We're already in the new, and we're experiencing also the last thing to get rid of. And so for us to be clear about our own qualities and about what we have to say to the people after the question is about from the people is to co-create, to receive the help or the support from others. I think that's one of the things what's really happening now. We're touching our deepest pieces of ego at this moment. Well, I experience it at this moment. So if you if you all find out a piece of that, please tell me. And I feel that the one I see on screen now, it's amazing. The energy I see with you all, that's really amazing. Never seen so many pure hearts and souls in front of one screen. So thank you for being here. And if there's any question about your own situation or development in this matter, then just ask or just tune in, and I know. And if you just tune in to me, we can connect and can clear up some spaces. And if there is any question about that clearing of spaces, of clearing old imprints, as like Nalini did with me kind of 3 days ago, where I'm still like shaking from, I have some shakes from.
It really wasn't our intention to put you on the floor, Cok.
Oh, so thank you. I've dreamt of you. And so then ask me, please ask me.
Yeah. Just say that I'm going to try and unmute Eve, if I find you on the list, because there's so many people here. Eve, you had a question. You just had a good comment. Would you dare to speak up?
Can you hear me? This is Eve.
Yes.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi, Eve.
Hi. I'm, trying to start something, on Whispering Energy on Facebook, and it's something I've wanted to do for a long time. And, once it looks like it's actually here and I might have the opportunity, I start getting stuck. I can't seem to get my projects going. I don't want to do anything. And I guess I'm, I don't know, I must have some deep fear. I've been doing everything I can to try to clear that the last month or two, and it's a lot better. But like somebody just called me with an offer in my old hospital field, a really good job, and sometimes I think, well, maybe I'm not quite ready yet. I need to go do that for a while and put this on hold, or just kind of, and that's kind of where I get stuck sometimes.
Okay.
I always wonder if I'm on the right path.
Oh, yes, you definitely are. Well, what I see in your energy are two, what we can call, I hope I'm not too black and white to call it by name in this way, but I see two blockades, one on your nervous system and your higher neck, and that's so that's physical, and so just on the lower belly, in your basis, basically.
Lower chakras.
Yeah, and they're like communicating with each other. It's like you know that you may stand for your quality and to do your job and to connect to the people they want to come to you for your job, for your work, and it will come. It's like just this kind of a very thin curtain what's on it, and it's not about trusting, because you have your trusting modus. It's just about an really old imprint. It's about not being allowed to be here in a childish form, as a child. It's not from this life. I see it from another life. It's not from here and now. So we can work on that one. And if you like, I will start on that immediately. And if there's any space for Nalini to go with me to that part, to those two parts, I think we will meet there in the circuit.
Okay, absolutely.
Okay. So sometimes if I just need the space to really focus, well, I get these small ears out and then I just walk around. So got some attitude with that, so and that's exactly the first thing what I'm going to do now. I'm going to focus on your system, and well, you just gave me the permittance to go. Thank you. And we'll work on that.
Thank you. I've been using every method I know, and I know a lot of them, so I think I've cleared a lot of it, but there's something still there. Thank you so much.
And there's one thing, thank you, there's one thing they say upstairs for you, the last 3 years, they've been really excited for you, because you had too many, or lots of situations to go and sit and just let it go in another way, so not clearing it. And you cleared them all. You really cleared them all. So, and you were just searching for the vertical instruments instead of the horizontal instruments. So that's where the angels were really glad about and happy about. So they really say welcome to you to do your work. So the blockade is going to be gone, really gone, and it's not coming back also. So okay, I'm going for a ride now.
So the fun, you know, one of the fun things, we had a session the other day when Nalini and Cok and I were spending some time together, and we said, oh, this would be kind of fun to let people see, because the way we work then is that Cok goes and lies down on the couch and gets himself comfortable and starts tuning into the energy. So if you see some feet sticking up, then you know what's going on.
Thank you.
So Nalini, over to you.
Okay, well, it's the way that I've been shown and learned to look at these things are a couple of different ways. What we're really looking at here, as you've stated so succinctly and astutely, is that you're dealing with your unconscious. And we always need to remember the unconscious is the part of the iceberg that's below the water line. And yes, Cok, I'm keeping her mind busy. And
That's good.
That's the larger part. If you think about an iceberg, the part above the water is what we think of as our conscious self. It's just a metaphor. The part below the water is what's actually in the ocean and navigating life, and that's the unconscious. So one of my spiritual mentors, a dear, dear friend, Leslie Temple Thurston, teaches a non-duality technique whose foundation is making the unconscious conscious. And things that I learned about that were to look at a pathology, what we would call a spiritual pathology, a symptom-causing thing, in the body or in the aura, and in this case it's actually mostly in the body, just so you're aware. You've cleared most of your consciousness, as Cok was saying. It's really held in the cellular structures at this point, so it's physio-emotional, and it's these unconscious pieces that run things, and they run things from other lives or from our infant time in this childhood. So there's a vulnerability aspect to this part of you that feels like it's stuck, feels like it doesn't want to move forward. It actually wants the opposite. Our heart's desires, our true heart's desires, have no impediments. We are helped by the divine. We are held by the divine for those in every moment. When the mind and the ego get involved, the greatest desire and the worst fear become a part of the same structure in duality. And that's very techy. But you know, in the structures, energetically, that's kind of how it works. So when we move forward and we take an opportunity, we say yes to something and we get really excited about it. And there's still a part of that iceberg below the water responding. It will very often react in a way that seems contrary or seems to be dragging our feet or causing sabotage or procrastination or keeping us stuck. The thing to not do is to ever say, I am stuck or in a problem, because the truth is every time we say I am, the divine says, okay. So if we say I am stuck, the divine will allow us to keep that vibration. If we say I have to process things through my body, big grin, the divine will say, okay. If we say I have to fill in the blank or I am, the divine says, okay, if you'd like to experience the embodiment of divinity that way, this is a free will zone. You are free to do that. The truth is, the only free will we have is divine alignment or not, and not is the kind of thing that keeps our hind ends in a lot of pain. So what this is, what the energies are moving from the Divine Mother, which is the all, the Dharmakaya, the all that is. I had to be reconditioned from my patriarchal conditioning to call her mother. It was part of my path. But that energy, the angelics that Cok is working with, are working to simply melt those parts of your iceberg that are still under the water and bring them to the surface as light. That's a metaphor. It's just shifting those patterns and saying to the unconscious, you don't need to protect me by putting the brakes on anymore. Because that's really what's happening when this happens, when we're completely committed to forward motion and things happen and we say yes, which is the first step. And then all the other stuff that we're all too familiar with, well, that's the unconscious. And so saying first to the unconscious from the heart, thank you, even when we don't want to, even when that seems absolutely opposite of what we want to do. Thank you for protecting me. Thank you for thinking you're doing the right thing. Thank you for all of that. And let's let the divine optimize this experience. It's divine optimization. Let's let the divine optimize this, which is how I experience the angelics that work with Cok, which is how I experience the heart space energies of the Divine Mother that are just dissolving those pieces within you that we're trying to do the right thing. It's just obsolete. It's not the right thing anymore. You are ready to just move forward as the light stream that you are. So how are you feeling right now? Are you still Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I'm unmuted now. Thank you. I feel really good. Thank you. I understand exactly what you're saying, and I do try to stay in the positive statements, and also that's, like, thank you for the information, and then move forward anyway from the unconscious. Right. I hear. Thank you very much, both of you.
Sure. Well, also, just sometimes, you're not doing this right now just for your information, but sometimes when we stay, we really hold on to the positive, we're not listening to that other voice that isn't negative. It's doing what it thinks is positive. So it's like holding on to the light flow, whatever form it's taking, and saying, thank you that you're taking me in the right direction. Let's let the divine do something different. Let's let the divine shift something, because I don't need to learn that way anymore.
Amen.
For all of us, the hard knocks school is obsolete, and it can't be obsolete fast enough for me.
Yeah, and one of the things. So one of the things that is so beautiful about us having this time together here and having the Whispering Energy community, or whatever community that you may be part of, is that you have the support available to guide you through these times, because there are bound to be moments when you're going to be feeling like, oh my God, we don't see where we hit our rock bottom, or we may not see where we're about to fall into the hole or forget our magnificence. So it takes support from one another to uplift each other and to allow yourself to receive and start expanding that space. Your, how shall we call it? I kind of seeing this circle, and that the circle is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, so you're able to reach more and more people and feel safe no matter where you are, because you know that the support is there for you.
And Tina, do you just want me to get to the, we have a whole bunch of questions and so forth, so you just want me to let you get to the next one?
Let's go. Let's see.
Okay. I'm going to unmute Mary. Mary, can you hear us?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. You had a comment and a question.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. Uh, all right, so I'm laughing out of nervousness and because I'm a laughter leader and I laugh just to as a release. The last time I talked to you all, I was crying. I've been through 4 family deaths in 2011 and I almost died in the hospital this year. So it's been quite a year just when I was really launching my laughter and coaching businesses. As Natalie knows, she did a wonderful radio interview with me. And I'm doing so well in my healing and my acceptance and my connecting and inviting my higher self to be more present every day and giving a lot of thanks. So this is just my little check-in. I don't really have a question. I just want to see what you might read from my energy. I wanted to express my love to people in the community and say, for those few of you who reached out to me in this time, I really appreciate it. I got some kind words from you now and then, and I've been not doing what Natalie just said about connecting when we're not feeling our best, because I've been very much going through the fog of grief. And now I'm coming back from that and emerging with a lot of joy.
It's beautiful that you're sharing this. Thank you, Mary, because this is such a great example of what we call the shine and crash. You know, you're wanting to shine your light, and you're really stepping out there and really doing your thing, and then bang, in your case, you're talking about having 4 deaths experience and almost dying yourself. I mean, that's pretty intense.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's great, truly great, yes.
Yeah. So, hi to you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hi. Well, what I get from your energy is a really amazing piece of information. What do you do in your with your creativity at this moment?
Oh, I'm cooking, I'm swimming, I'm biking,
Yeah.
I'm connecting with people in my community, I'm hanging out with kids a little bit now and then, and I'm doing a little gardening, emphasis on little because I live in the desert.
Okay, great. So to live through these experiences, is there anything in your own quality what you didn't came out with in the community till now? As I feel some hidden qualities in your energy. I don't know where it is at this moment. I hope I will get more information about that. But there's something in your energy to serve other people, which has not been
That hasn't been expressed yet, or?
Yeah.
Well, I've done a lot of serving. My life was really all about service in many different capacities, you know, as a director of this nonprofit and a social worker of that, you know, so forth. So
Yeah.
I've done a lot of leading in the community and making a difference in society and people's lives, right? So I've shifted from that and radically my life to not being so I guess I can sum it up by saying that my life being on the path of service is now, my lesson is really about being.
Yeah, enjoying. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I feel a big quality of serving other people, and well, that's what I get with it is that you will come out with that piece of serving again, but in a much other way. But for so far, everything you have experienced is by full awareness. So every question for you to ask what I don't know if you've got any specific specific questions. Thank you.
I do, and thank you. And you're right, and you're not the first to say that. You can see a sense that my service is you know, I'm feeling that it's going to take place. It's going to come to me from on high, and it's going to be very different. And I'm not going to have to strive. And when I do the old even laughter yoga is something I love to do, and it's fun, and it's a way to bring joy to the planet. But I don't really see that as the thing for me.
No, no.
And coaching is wonderful, and that may be a part of it, but it's something much bigger. So the question I have is, does anything come through in terms of?
Yeah, writing and drawing, and then it will occur. I just get that you are being asked. It's by the Angel Metatron. It's about drawing and writing, and if you just draw and write what comes up into you, then there will be a new model occurring towards to something bigger, which is now not being given in the information
It's not being revealed to me, right?
Yeah, but it will, and it will. Well, after our time consciousness, it will be within 3.5-4 months from now. So.
Ah, okay. I
Yeah.
wanted to ask when, but I didn't know. I know there's, you know, timeless space, and sometimes you can't get a sense of that. But that's nice to know. It might be in a season or two.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'll have fun, and I'll just keep doing my little sprightly dance and.
Yeah, counting the sand corals.
The grains of sand.
Oh, thank you, and then Tina, I'm sorry I called you Natalie. I'm just sorry about that. I think I did that twice. But I recognize your voice. It's nice to hear you. I'm sorry y'all can't see me. I still don't have that visibility thing happening. I haven't fixed my computer yet.
It'll come. It'll come. And the beauty is here, and knowing also for everyone who's watching and who's listening, that whoever is speaking up, that whatever is being addressed for the collective of all of us. So when something is being addressed or cleared for one person, allow that to clear in any part of you that may be resonating with that, conscious or not. And that if you are sitting on the edge of your seat and going, I want to talk, I want to talk, I want to ask, I want to ask, just know that you will be answered. So allow yourself to relax. And
thank you for saying that just now, Tina, because there's a lot of people who have questions, and I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time and your blessings. Appreciate it.
Thank you. So, Amy.
Yeah, Nalini, just want to add anything?
Okay.
What I was seeing was exactly as has been said. There's a light stream moving through your heart chakra, Mary. It's very, very strong. It's not integrated yet through the crown, through the root, so it's not fully embodied. It's coming through the back of the heart chakra and through the front, and coming out the arms and the hands and the throat, which of course are our body vehicles for expression. So part of that is where Metatron is saying, do the drawing, do the writing, do the laughing, because it activates the hand-heart connection, and it will pull this light stream from going through from back to front into more of a, we could say a vertical column, even though we know high and low is all going away too. But that light stream is the love and the joy. The new cycle is about the love and the joy. When you were talking about walking the path of service, oh, I so relate. And I could feel your cement shoes, even though it was done in joy. But the cement shoes are gone now. They need to come off. It's dancing and being uplifted, letting that light stream that comes through your heart literally buoy you up, carry you up, so that as that flows through, what you do may stay relatively the same. The way it's done will be completely different. And I'm also getting about 3 months for the first manifestations of that.
All right. And how about we go to, I'm trying to keep the order. We go to Harley. Harley, I've unmuted you. Can you hear us? Can you speak? Okay. Harley, I don't hear you, so if it's okay, I'm just going to read out the question that you had. Harley was saying, I'm a first-timer to this webinar. I would like to ask just how important is detachment during these times of high energy? And what is one to do if, like me, one has almost no ability to detach? So that was the question.
Well, this is Nalini. Can I just jump in and say, stop saying that to yourself. Stop telling your consciousness that you have no ability to detach. Your heart can detach and be in that fluidity all the time. Your heart has the ability. The mind is the issue. You know that. So it's letting the heart drive and putting the mind in the passenger seat, whatever you have to do that. Strap it in, lock it down. I don't know, but, quit beating up the monkey. But still, just, let the heart lead, follow the intuition. Detachment, what I would call non-attachment, it's a bit different, is so vital right now because everything is shifting and changing. Our world is not going to be the same in any of its aspects. So any part of us that's holding on is going to hurt because, it's being wrenched out from under our little clenched fists and fingernails. And so it's just let the flow take you. So over to you, Cok.
Well, yeah, it's rather the same as I would speak out. It's I feel that Harley, I only feel a little bit of loneliness, not being seen. And that's the thing already Nalini says, just open your heart, just believe. It's not about doing the hard work on getting the trust again or something. Don't do any of those hard-working methods anymore. Just enjoy and just create it out of your heart. What do you really want? And it will come out itself. It's just really an old imprint of not being seen. And well, we don't see you here on screen, but we see you and we feel you. And it's just the heart energy. You worked so hard on your solar plexus the last few years, so that's already done. It's done. So just enjoy. Just know that you will be confirmed about receiving also the joy instead of not being seen and I think that it's not there for you. It's not true. It's I don't want to speak out the word "not" too much. So just go for whatever there may be for you. Just go for the things there are in life and not for the things you haven't seen or you've thought about that they were not supposed to be there for you.
One of the things that shows up often, I'm sure that many people can relate to this as well, is that we can oftentimes see the possibilities and the potential for others. And if we ask somebody, what is it that makes your heart sing? What is it that you would love? How would you love to imagine your life? We can totally see that for others. However, oftentimes there can be a little program in the background that says, yeah, but not for me. Well, if that one is running in your system, then let's just place that within that cauldron and allow everyone here to let that be transformed and to allow ourselves to receive that download of knowing that that source that moves through us and that loves and adores us has the greatest vision for us to step into. So allow yourself to be guided there.
Okay, and since we didn't hear Harley on the mic, I hope that message got through loud and clear. And I'm just going to move us to Faye. Faye, I've unmuted you. You had a question as well?
Oh, I did. Thank you so much. Yeah, my issue always seems to come to money. I get things sort of lined up, and then I just seem to be in this old story of being poor all the time. And I'm rather fed up with it, quite frankly. So I just wonder, I've done so much clearing and so much work, but there just seems to still be some, like an undertow or something that won't fully let me move forward.
Are you aware that you made a commitment several lifetimes ago to renounce the material world? Many of us may have made these kinds of spiritual commitments. They may have been a good idea at the time. This lifetime isn't a good idea. But you made a commitment to have it not be important, even if in some of those lifetimes you had material things. So when you come right up against self-care and sustainable abundance for yourself, this little leftover vow, it's actually sort of broken. It looks a little bit like a wire that's had some serious abuse. You've been working on it. But it's still there, a little bit in the unconscious. So, with your permission, we'd like to allow the divine to just melt it, just remove it completely, because that commitment, that vow, is certainly obsolete in this lifetime and doesn't need to be sorting out inside you and causing you pain.
I would absolutely give my permission. Even though it's strange, I feel attachment to it at the same time.
Well, we are attached to our commitments. We made them for what we thought was a very good reason at the time. Yeah, so let's also ask the divine, to put into the cauldron, into the blender, all of that attachment to, what it does is it feeds our ego. If we are righteous and noble and self-sacrificing, it feeds the spiritual ego. And so it's just offering all that up because you know quite well at this point you don't need that anymore.
Yeah.
Well, there will be some working on your solar plexus also at this moment. I feel that very strongly. So if you just allow that one to go through and to let go that piece of energy of old imprint in your solar, just let that go, please. And then it's a little bit easier to receive just by knowing that it's now happening and it's now your new start, new beginnings, or whatever we want to call it. And it's gone. It's not even to be mentioned as old. It's not from here and now. It's now for what you really wanted to receive, and just be safe, and be safe in your, not only in your lower belly chakra, but especially in your solar plexus. Just be safe. Let it run through. It's okay.
Okay, thank you.
If anyone else's solar plexus is clutching up right now.
How's Amy doing?
How's Amy?
Amy, you're live? Amy?
You hear Amy?
Okay, let me scroll down on the questions. Amy, been trying to recognize and release old Amy, was that you? Okay, I'm just going to read the question because for some reason we can't hear you. I've been trying to recognize and release old patterns and feeling like there's something from past life that I can't quite see and that I'd like some clarity about so I can work through it.
Well, it's not from here. It's from somewhere outer space. Or it's not from here. I see a line, a connection with other energies, or oh, left this video chat. Okay, there we go. Oh, whoa!
She'll be on audio.
Thank you.
She's on audio.
Okay, so I'll make the connection to clear something that's a line between you and an astral thing, or whatever it may be called. It's not from here. It's not from this person or whatever. It's from we try to avoid that you get lots of love with you, and we're gonna work on that right away.
Let's see whether our connection audio is still there.
Yeah, you know, sometimes we hold on to connections to other planes, things that are past, they're not.
Natalie's coming back on now. See, this is always so interesting, the times up when we're going through clearing things, shifting things to allow us to shine more, then it's not unusual for audio connections and internet things to go a little wonky. So,
Can you hear me again?
yay!
Okay, I apologize. Everything got dropped. Okay. So
Okay.
I think we're back up.
Yep.
Okay. It's Mercury retrograde. Okay.
Up against, wanting to let their light shine, letting themselves be seen in a bigger way, or they have done and then feel like their whole energy system just crashes, or the disappointments show up, or everything seems to be going the exact opposite way. Leslie's like, yeah. Oh, everybody, oh my lord. Okay. Oh, Nalini, would you like to share something, address that?
Sure. Well, I think that that's actually really up on this world at this time. Where the light is moving through all of us, is being downloaded, uploaded, coming in spherically from all sides faster than we can possibly process it with our minds. So we need to let our fields, our bodies, and our hearts experience it, log it, and it will unfold mentally however it does over what we call time. But the light is so intense right now, which is amazing and wonderful, but it is so that we can shine brighter than we ever dreamed possible. And when that happens, the programs that we still have left that want to step carefully, to use caution, here we have cactus here where I live, not step on the spines, the programs that want to do those kinds of things sort of freak out. And we also have to remember that in duality, which we are all, everyone here is committed to transcending, in duality everything is polarized. Everything has an equal and opposite charge. In duality, not in unity. And one of the fears of unity consciousness, which is really being brought up by all this light, is that unity means you have to let the dark in the light door, and everything turns gray, if you will, which isn't what happens. But that's the fear, because in duality, that's sort of what we've been programmed to believe, what we were born into. So for all of us that are experiencing that, blazing light comes through, there is a saying that has been called a truism on this world for a long time: where there is the greatest light, there is the greatest dark. Could we please all commit to shredding that one right now? That is a statement that is based in duality. If there is no duality, neither one of those polarities are true. And the fear then, the mind will say, well, then the light all goes away. There's nothing but light. There's nothing but the vibration of light. It's just all multi-hued, multi-vibrationed, and so are we. So if the if the focus has been lost lately, it's because you're being bombarded with more light than you ever have been before, and your systems in the physical world are trying to process it at physical system speed, and that's simply not possible. So it's allowing the sphere of light that holds us, the heart space, to just perceive it all as it does anyway. Our body perceives so much more than our mind, than our brain can process. So letting all that in and allowing to release this dualistic construct that says, the more light, or wait, this is too much, this is more than I've ever been able to handle, and therefore the dark will be more than I can handle. That's called walking your worst fear. And what happens when we crash is we're walking our worst fear. And our commitment, all of us here collaborating, is to walk the light, our own light, as well as the pure and true light that comes through us all in the prismatic spectrum that we present. So just allowing that spectrum to shine in whatever way it does uniquely through each of us, knowing that the light here is the unity field, and that polarized place of greatest light, greatest dark does not need to exist any longer. And I know the mind will kick in and say, but, welcome to the but bird. Or, the mind will kick in and say, no, resistance, this is how it has always been. Well, in our have been a truism. It will not be true in this coming cycle. So whatever way any of us can receive the field of unity light that is coming in now, it will dissolve this all the way down to the root if we raise our hand to Spirit and say yes.
Okay, shall we maybe go to Anita at this point?
Yay!
Okay, let me try. Anita, I'm going to unmute you. Can you try and use your mic?
I'll try. Can you
There
hear
you go,
me?
excellent.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
And Tina, hello.
Hi, Anita.
Hello, Anita.
Hello, Cok. It's beautiful to be on this webinar tonight.
For being here.
Well, to make it short, the question I have is I did a lot of work last couple of years, but it seems that I can't get rid of sadness in my system and pain in my foot. And I was wondering, Cok, can you tell me something about this?
Yeah, well, the sadness is about really an old or not alive part in you to be left alone. And it has to do by feeling sorry to the divine. You have been working very hard on it, and it's already the best you can do, or you did, and it's about letting go that part of feeling guilty, not doing the right thing to the divine. It's not there. They're very happy with you, and they're very happy the way you are in life, and to be there for others, also to be for yourself. But it's always about receiving, I think, on this evening or this day. It's just about the feeling guilty part. Don't feel guilty about anything that the divine or God or the universe will punish you by not doing the right job. It's not there. It's really not there. And so feel free to just do your thing. And that's the thing I get with the loneliness or the sadness. It's sadness and a kind of loneliness together.
Yes.
The foot. You mentioned something about the foot. I didn't get it right because my ear is not working fully 100%. So
since about 5, 6 years, I have a problem with my foot. And, well, I think there is something underneath it. I mean, some emotional stuff, probably.
Well, what's ontstekingswaarde?
Yeah.
Inflammation, yeah.
Yeah.
She speaks Dutch.
Okay, it's kind of...
It's very
So-
funny speaking
Okay,
English to Dutch people.
yeah. Well, welcome again.
Yes.
Well, the value of it, just talk about the
Inflammation.
inflammation value. It's just between muscle and bones, and it's about taking steps, not putting yourself into the kind of a prisoner's stand, prisoner's hold, and just feel free to do whatever you want, and don't think you will be punished. You won't. It will not happen. It will not happen.
Okay.
And they're
Thank you.
they're really very happy with you, and there are 2 special angels guiding you. Those are Gabriel and Zadkiel. Zadkiel for your prayers. Just know that you've been heard, especially for your last prayer about 10 days ago. They're really with you, and Gabriel will provide you the energy now to come up for yourself. Don't feel guilty. Just go on with your work and shine. Just shine.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think,
Well-
Cok, we will meet again.
Hey, we will for sure.
Thank you.
Oh, beautiful. Nalini, do you want to add anything else?
Oh, I don't think there's anything to add to that.
The beautiful things, it's so interesting. I always find that on these calls when we see the different themes, when you just check in for yourself if there is any part of you, what's wanting to come through you, and your feet are about taking you in the direction that you're going. Where may you be holding yourself back, or have the experience that somebody or something is slowing you down?
Waiting for me?
Just sharing whatever comes through. Okay.
I think there's also a question from Jennifer, if I'm getting this right, and I may not have this right. Jennifer's on the phone, I think. Jennifer, I hope this is the right Jennifer. I'm going to unmute you. Let's see. Oh, can you hear us, Jennifer? Okay. I'm going to try and read out that question, and I'm not quite sure I'm getting this right because it's on a different screen. I have an overriding sense that there's all kinds of information that I'm hiding from myself and others, though I think some people can see or know it, but aren't allowed to tell me. Maybe I'm paranoid, or maybe I'm a small, that's an interesting word, hubris problem. I apologize if I messed that up, in a former life, so I opted for a lead helmet this lifetime. So what is it that I knew that I want to know now? All right. Does that make sense? Did I read that out right?
Well, I see that Nalini already picked that up.
Well, okay, we can both speak to it. What I can see is that he and I are seeing the same thing, is there's like the light is all around you and within you, but there's a little sort of shell, like an egg-shaped energy around you where, you keep believing that you don't know what you need to know, and that you have this past life of self-serving, another way of saying hubris. And so there's a little leftover program of, I'm really here to put everyone else first. Now, I'll bet if you asked, Tina, if you asked everyone to raise hands, the healers here, the light workers here, who thinks at some deep, dark part or right up in front of your face that you're really supposed to uplift everybody else first? And then, with whatever bandwidth is left, you can uplift yourself. That was known as a spiritual path, or a way of being spiritual. in every cycle up until about 2 weeks ago. And so it's sort of so not surprising that we would all have it. I'm working with this myself as well. It's that last little tug when Tina said, you know, let your light go forward and see what's tugging you. And it's great, Jennifer, that your question came up, because what you're not letting yourself see is that you are the light, you are divinity. Why would divinity stop itself from moving forward? What game were you playing? Cosmic perspective here. What game were you playing that said, I need to tether this part of me to, if you were a gas pump or a fuel pump, all the hoses are going out to everybody else, and there's this one little leftover piece for you. Well, if all of that is being siphoned off elsewhere, how are you going to shine? And so the piece that is you're hiding from yourself, you're quite correct, is that you need to be fulfilled in every sense of that expression and allow the light that you are to fill you up and overflow. It will radiate to others as Spirit decides it needs to, not as this program does. It's just a leftover little tether, you know, like a boat mooring, the thing that ties a boat to a dock. It's like that. It's not big, and it's not present, it's not now. And if you let yourself actually see that, as you say, you're the one who made that decision, I think the angels are more than happy to take it a few minutes ago as opposed to even right now. So, Cok, what were you seeing?
Well, that was it.
Yeah.
It was only like a remembering of all things that seemed to block Jennifer to show herself and to be seen, and but it just to ask the question here, what's the moment? That's what I get. So it's not even there anymore. It was a very thin shell. She has worked, Jennifer, you worked very, very hard on yourself, and you were already there. So we're just confirming your moments. Enjoy.
And may I just say to everybody who's raising their hands that we're trying to get to everybody, but if you type your questions in the question box, I can actually save all the questions and send them to Tina, Cok, and Nalini. So even if you raised your hands, please also type the questions in case we run out of time. And that said, I'm going to go to Trinity. Trinity, I have you unmuted.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh yes,
Hey, sweetie.
loud and clear.
Hello.
Welcome, Trinity.
Thank you.
That's a great name.
Yes.
Trinity, you had put in a question. You want to speak about that question or the comments that you made so they can reply to it?
Yes. I'm having an interesting time with myself. I feel like I'm right on the verge of really being able to offer a lot of what I brought. And I finished a new website and just got told very recently that I have been invited to be on a panel at a big Conscious Life Expo in LA, which feels sort of like a go to the head of the class for me, as I don't have any of the qualifications of the other people on this panel tangibly in life. And it's brought up a lot of stuff for me. I immediately thought, well, you know, I think I might really rather just be a photographer or a graphic artist, and I'm not really sure I want to do this. So when this invitation to be on this call came in, I thought, well, my goodness, that's divine timing. And then I tried to look underneath in the way that I do, okay, what's underneath this? And part of it's fear of relationship loss, like stepkids, and my husband's having a little adorable wobble about it all. And I know that's old. I know that's really old. And then some like fear of misuse of power, like, you know, what if I fuck it all up, basically. And that really is the only word that worked for that. Sorry, guys. And then just maybe just feeling maybe my soul is too stained to broadcast. and just some of that nonsense. So whatever you guys can see that we can clear, boy, I offer it all up in service. I've gotten so much from what has happened already. I can hardly wait to hear what you have to say.
Well, so you're coming out of the closet.
I am.
Okay, that's okay. That's really fine. The angels asked you now to relax a little bit more, not to also not to be scared, not to be seen or being heard, because you will, and we just found out because you're very loud and clear. It's also that they ask, are you really by feeling in your heart ready to be sure that you've chosen one thing and not more things to be seen? It's very important to choose the most purest way in your out of your quality to shine with. And so if you find any kind of a struggle, strijdbaar.
Yeah, it's like the Joan of Arc.
Yeah.
Oh
no. No, but thank you, Tina. No, but if you, I think you know what I mean by
the battle energy.
Yeah, just leave the battle energy. The battle energy is the one we all wanted to express in the last couple of years. We don't need it anymore. Enough light to shine, and just do your job with a big childish smile, and you will work that out. I think what I see in a kind of a vision is doing a lecture, your first lecture for 70 to 150 people, and after that I see bigger lectures. You get a great body language to show yourself, so to show on stage. Use that, really use it, and Nalini, what did you get with it?
Oh, sweetie, let Isis go to the conference and use your body and let the spiral speak happen. You know how to do that, closet oracle you. Let it happen. I mean, so what? You don't have letters after your name. It makes the business card shorter. It's easier.
Yeah.
You know what to do. Let Isis move through you. I couldn't feel her more present right now.
Yeah.
And just there for you, and let the spiral speak happen. It's your gift, it's your strength, and it is what we love about you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I get one more thing. The way you have been writing in the last couple of years, you have been writing some things. What I see is that it didn't become a book or something like that. It's like you don't need the written text to do your lecture, but use your already written text for the lectures in a kind of almost poetic, shiny way. You know what I mean? The things you have been written?
I do, actually.
Okay. So use that.
Okay.
Okay. Just
you.
get that out of the attic.
Yeah. All right. I'm out. Thank you. You outed me.
Cool. Ja, maar even kijken. Ja. Eve, can I ask you a question?
Hang on, it's unmuted.
There we go.
Yeah.
Eve?
Certainly.
Hi, Eve. I want to ask you if there's on your business card or is the business card or flyers you use, is there any kind of a big smile on it?
Yes.
Yes. Well, it needs a little bit glowing around that smile. That's the thing I just got.
Okay.
Okay, and feel that glow in yourself and just smile because it's happening now.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
So Natalie, we can go on to the next
Okay.
question if there
I
is
wasn't
any.
sure whether Tina looked like she wanted to say something. So,
Oh.
let's go to Sharon, actually. Sharon had a question. Let me go to her and see if I can find her in this long list of amazing people. Sharon, you had a comment, a question?
Good morning, and thank you all so much for holding this great energy for all of us. It's been a joy to be here. And my question is kind of a statement question. My husband and I have been in quite a bit of transition the last 3 years, losing our home, losing our retirement money, etc. And I am tired and losing patience, and people call me the most patient person in the world, and that is slowly dissolving.
Well, it's not about the question. Oh, sorry. Just
So
go
I
on.
guess my question is, when can I look for an end to this? Everything that we do seems to have an upset of its own, and I know that the journey is the journey. I totally understand that. So I guess that's my question statement, and thank you.
First of all, welcome. I almost feel really, really, really emotional about seeing your light. That's tremendous. And everything is like coming in on time for you and for your husband. The intention of money and the other things are coming in time now, because they won't let you fall, really. Too much light, no falling thing. It will not happen. You have too much light. It will not happen. So what you really can begin with is the creating part of making steps by your own, knowing that for every step you make, 7 steps will be made by the divine and by the angels. So just trust on that. That's one. But they ask you really to make the step in whatever kind of way you really want to create in, even if it's doing the garden, doing the vegetables in the garden, or doing whatever you really want. There is been asking from above that you both, as well as you as your husband, are staying in a kind of an energy that it's not working, but it's working. And you both are too much light for it. They won't let you fall. Really, they won't.
Thank you. Thank you. I understand that, and thank you for shedding more light even on that.
And the other thing, Sharon, I think this also many people on the call are going to be resonating with. You have the most amazing ability to hold space for people. You have the most generous heart. You have so many gifts and so much light to shine and share. And it's about allowing yourself to receive that reflected back to you, to allow yourself to let it in, to let I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah,
it's
me too.
It's like to allow yourself to have your magnificence reflected back to you, to ask for what you need support with, and to absolutely be amazed at how everyone is going to shine, rise to the occasion to be there for you the way that you show up for others.
Thank you so much. And unfortunately, I have to hang up just this minute because our business computer exploded last night, and our computer guy just arrived.
Just in time for you to
Just
take
in
all the
time.
message with you.
Timing. Bless you all. Thank you so much. I so appreciate you. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
All right. Wow. Just in time. Talking about divine interventions. Okay. Juanita Dimmer, and I apologize, I probably mispronounced your name. Juanita, I'm going to unmute you. Can you hear us? Can you talk? Okay. Apparently not, so let me try and read this out. Juanita is saying, we are working on building an expanded healing center in Cedar Rapids. We are a group of massage therapists, and now I'm having a echo. We are a group of massage therapists, Reiki practitioners, etc. We are blessed to be riding on the waves of energy and co-creation into manifestation. And I thought I need to unmute somebody. Oh. Is that better? Okay. As I personally work through my core issues, my core dreams are being lifted. Also, those around me are clearing through their issues and are stepping into the light. I just want to say thank you to the angelic support that we're receiving daily. So what are your suggestions for her? I don't know, her or him. I apologize, Juanita. Yeah. I muted her on my end, so I think we're okay.
Got it.
Yep.
So any comments for Juanita?
Well, I hope that that Juanita will come through by voice also, so I can ask her a question. If there's any activity with children there, because I feel that there is an upline from the center to children, but it's not receiving children to come in and to work with, and that's a quality which wat er nog niet uitkomt.
That's not being revealed yet.
No, that's being asked.
And Juanita was saying no mic, but if you have an answer for that question, you can type it in where you put your question initially, and we can get to you that way.
Okay, snap jij dat? Wat moet ik nu doen?
No.
Okay,
No,
thank you.
fine.
Okay.
You sound like double Dutch here, huh?
Yes, we're double Dutch. So it's the only thing to get a little bit more, be concentrated on by the center itself. I think there needs more to be children's activity there.
And that's the answer just came through. Children are around us, and we feel the void of service to children in the areas. We will fill the need. Thank you.
Yeah. So, okay. So what is it, what the children are bringing them and what they receive by doing the job with the children? There's something with the children.
Yeah, there's a collaboration with the new souls coming in, and so not just the children of the community, but also the women who are pregnant at the moment. Really in collaboration with that energy. These are the children who hold a whole different frequency and will live in a very different world, and you are open to that and can collaborate with it and help it. It's such a gift.
That's great.
And the response is a connection to our inner child, a beautiful childlike energy, and we do many pregnancy massages and energy work.
Wow.
There's some, well, before we go on to the next question, just in case, one of the things that shows up with this, the shine and crash thing, is that many people, and this came up the other day, personal experience and seeing it in people around me, and Nalini addressed this, and it's about the programming or the conditioning or the habitual way of clearing energy through our bodies, taking on the energy. Many people who are healers, who are coaches, are very, I can never pronounce that word, that you can feel. What? I can't even say it. Well, anyway, it's that you can able to tap in, empathic or
Empathetic.
No, I want to say empathetic, but it's
empathetic. That's good.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is pathetic. No.
Well, language is right now, so yeah.
Yeah. But the thing with that is that, you know, for many may have been conditioned to think it can be very handy when you can tune in and feel what's going on with someone or in a situation. Mm-hmm. However, the invitation now is to allow that energy to be transmuted in a different way rather than taking it on through your body and, in a way, you know, trying to process it for everybody else. So Nalini, would you like to address that? Because I thought that was such a powerful experience when you shared that.
Well, this is something that's been a gift of information from Source, from the Divine Mother, which is that our, you know, for the last cycles, for a very, very long period of what we call time, the body as our physical vehicle has been used to transmute. Transmutation is it's the changing, it's alchemy, the changing of something toxic into something that isn't, that's neutral or better, hopefully positive. And what is happening now, or needs to happen for this new cycle, is transformation, the literal shifting of the form of something, the shape of something. So when we as light workers, healers, feel a pattern, an injury, a pain, or something in someone else, or in everyone around us, if we're at the market and we're sensitive that day, instead of it coming through our bodies, because the belief in the unconscious is that's just the way it is, that's just the way this works, that's part of my service. All of those beliefs can be offered up into the heart of the divine, into the cocoon, the blender, the cauldron, wherever you'd like to offer it, and just say, this is new, where I can be held, as Sharon was beginning to receive, being held, and allowing all of that way of taking it all in and shifting it. You know, like the Bene Gesserit in the Dune film. This won't work now. There's too much. This transition is too big. You know, our Earth is becoming a stellar being. This is her destiny and ours if we're here. Our bodies cannot do that anymore. And as evidenced by some of us right now who are saying, you know, wow, I'm in all this pain, or I released this and this happened, and wow. Well, it's because the body can't do that. It can't, literally cannot, no ability. So it's releasing from our cellular programs, the cellular light stream, into this new form of being held and letting the divine transform, change the form, change the shape of the pattern, and shift its energy into something that will work going forward. And our minds and our bodies have a problem with this because they don't know what that will look like. And we will not know until it is so. And this is where all of us, we're not just being asked to build our trust muscle right now, it is being demanded of us in a way that it has never been demanded on this world in physical incarnation before. And so it's just surrendering to that. It's a word I don't like to use very much because it has so many meanings in so many ways. We're not talking about subjugation. We're not talking about throwing towels or waving white flags. Well, it's saying to the divine, you do it. You do it. And I can't tell you how many years I thought I was doing that. I believed that I was truly surrendering. And I can't really describe the shift that happened, the click, the kinesthetic, visceral click that happened when I finally gave over. Didn't give up, although it felt like that a little bit, but gave over and said, you do it, because clearly I, the small self, the personality, am clueless as to what this is going to look like. So the transformation happens in our field, not in our bodies. And so whatever vows we have, agreements we have, like all of them, they were good at the time. They meant something at the time. They have no validity here. They're not relevant even. That game is over. We are on a new playing field. It's like when the video game machine, for those of us that play them, I don't, but I hear about it. When it shuts down and you can't play anymore, that's what the body is saying to us when it starts to have these pains or go into these conditions is, no, 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 this machine has to shut down now. The field, the light that comes through us is what needs to transform rather than transmute. The energy will change its shape, its form, its quality, its essence to what spirit needs going forward. And the good news is we don't have to decide. We don't get to, and that's really, really good. I mean, like we've done such a great job so far, right? So just giving it over. It's a shift in paradigm, it's a shift in cycle, and it's a shift in the divine agenda for now. It's not personal. It's saying the body can no longer do this. All of those patterns need to be given over. So I hope that's what you were asking for, Tina.
Yeah, and beautiful, because I think that is so important for people to be aware of, because it can show up in the physical, but also the other thing, thinking if it shows up in any areas in life, relationships not working, being stuck in a job where you feel like, oh my God, this is hell, you know, and yet you're holding on there. Any area in your life where you're holding on for dear life, allow that to be released. And allowing the divine to optimize it, as Nalini says, to show itself to you in ways that bring you great joy. So
Yeah, and most, go ahead.
No, go on.
Most of them will not be what we expect. And this is the good news. You know, we think, oh, well, I didn't expect that, and some of it doesn't feel so great. It's like, wait a minute, where's the gift, and what piece of me set up the tripwire so that I went, ouch, and instead, if I relax, let myself be held, go into that space and say, what's the gift here? Then that current will just zip forward, and everything will change.
Hmm.
Yeah. I just waved the white flag.
Good for you. It's about time.
It wasn't pretty.
It never is.
Right.
The process. Oh, the reason why we're sharing that is also, I think, to help one illusion out of this world, is that oftentimes we think that when working with people who are, you know, I think this is also something from the old paradigm that's shifting. People get put up in a position on a pedestal as a teacher or a guru or whatever, and thinking that, you know, that those people who write the books and have the greatest messages, that they don't have any of these problems in their life. Well, BS. And I think
Give them a flag.
yeah, and I think that this is also coming up really, and the disillusionment that we may experience with that is when you see people that you put up on a pedestal and they come crashing down because they're not walking their talk. That's what we're seeing here. And so it's up for us to be there for one another in whatever way we can, to support each other and to allow ourselves to show when it's not that pretty, because that's just clearing off the dust so that diamond can sparkle. That just had to come out.
We just experienced it yesterday.
Well said.
I'm so glad that Tina is here for me to experience the white flag carrying with a big smile and a big kind of a struggle thing. It's great to fight with Tina in that part, so I'm very thankful for you to give that space to me. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes.
Is there any other questions?
We have so many more questions and only about 7 minutes left. So
okay.
How would you guys like to proceed from here on? Next question, or did you have anything?
Yes. We go on a quicker, what's it called, on a fast modus.
I'm also saving all the questions for you, so don't worry.
Yeah, Janice is on the screen here. She would like to say something. How about opening Janice's mic?
Okay, let me go to Janice. There we are. Go ahead, Janice.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
This is one of those, I'm so appreciative. I didn't know what to expect, and this is even better than I expected, so thank you so much. So much of what you're saying resonates with me, and my question is about my body. I'm in such physical pain. You can see I'm in bed. My hands have become suddenly arthritic. My foot hurts. Before it was my hip. They told me I needed to have it replaced, and then they said, no, you don't. And I can't move. I can't write. I can't do anything. I can't walk. It's more than I can take, and it's keeping me distracted from doing what I'm supposed to do. I don't know how to help myself, really.
Okay. Well, what I see, hi.
Hi.
Hi. What I see, there seem to be two of the blockades. One, your vision in life, how to see and to watch everything what's happening around you, and not to be physical in that what you see. So there seems to be an installment about not being able to take in steps into your reality. I just received a release of an old installment, old imprints. It's about letting go, but not to work on it anymore, but just receiving the new. That's what I feel in your physical system, but also in your mental system. I feel that everything is there for you, and the pain in your hands, it seems like a little bit the same kind of pain I remembered in my process of the last 20 years. So, but after I kind of surrendered myself to the bigger thing, what's happening now, so that we cannot handle this anymore, just surrendering by receiving love was the first thing, and that's not more than 2 days ago, and yesterday also, has taken away the arthritis or rheuma pain out of my body for like more than 60-70% instead of what I experienced last week.
Wow.
And I experienced youth rheuma and arthritis from my 12-13 year off. And I know this is the thing. It's really to be convinced about that you may, you are here, so enjoy that you are here. Feel safe. Welcome yourself on this planet. And don't think that everything is passing you by, really. It's not. It's not passing you by, really. It's there, but I see a little bit more sadness or grief, old grief. I see a part of, I see like a film shot of you. In earlier days, it was about 11 or 12 years old, that I see another girl is running away with something that belonged to you. What I feel is that it seems that your view, or that your overtuiging, using is it that I know?
Relief.
Yeah, that your belief is that it's not there for you. And it's really an old installment. It's really old. It's really old. And Nalini, can you help me on this one or support me on this one? There's one clear view with it. I don't know. I don't have the words for it, but you picked it up. So
Thank you, Cok.
thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I guess a sound bite for what's happening, Janice, is your mind is crippling your body. So let's come with me for a minute. Come into the heart space. Your body knows. Don't let your mind distract you. Just come for a minute. Let yourself be held. Just feel it. And tell your mind it no longer has permission to dictate to your body. Take that magical staff that you remember and smack it on the ground and say, that's it, enough. And then allow your body, give your body full permission to be the embodiment of light, and full permission to not listen to that dictator in the mind ever again from this moment forward. And as you're giving that permission, the angels say thank you. I can feel the currents in your fingers through the joints beginning to open up. We want to ask that this happen very gently, very easily, with as much ease and grace as you can possibly receive. It's about receiving through the body and being the embodiment of Goddess light that you are. It's just one aspect of spirit. And letting the fear that really isn't in you anymore leave your field. So just let the body take her time, let her relax, let yourself be held. You are so held, you are so loved. It's time to receive it. Right in your cells, all the way in, not just your head.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
Yes.
All right, everybody. I know there are many, many more questions, but we're on the dot right now with the 90 minutes. So, Tina, I can tell you already that some of the comments from the question and the chat log are, please do it again.
Yeah, sure we will. And I would love to be able to see if you're okay with it, to wrap up maybe in 5 minutes. I would, for those who are showing up here on the video, letting themselves be seen, if we could open the mic for Jackie, and after that for Leslie. And
I've got Jackie open.
Yay!
I have to go.
Hi,
And I have to go to the toilet. But I'm back in 1 minute.
Okay.
This has been fabulous. I echo what somebody else said, that I had no idea what to expect, only knew that shine and crash resonated. So thank you, Tina, Cok, and Nalini, for your time. This has been really great.
Do we have any questions? Anything?
I did send in, yes. Let me tell you what I said. For me, and I'm just going to read it because that's easier than trying to redo it. My light is shining, my heart is ready, but I know there's something that seems to hold me in place when it comes to creating product service. I can sense the fear within myself and the language of that's too big for me, being driven by the fear of trying to be more than I am. Trinity was speaking as I was doing that, and I was listening to what she was saying, which was, whatever you can clear, I offer it all up in service, and that really resonated with me. I realized through all of this that I keep myself small enough for me to manage. And I do feel a lot of that manifest in the shoulders and neck area, very, very tight. So I know there's something I'm holding there, and I'm ready to be done with it.
Well, if I can say one thing, and then for whoever has bought into or has been brought up, shall I say, with the story of Jesus carrying the cross, just knowing that he carried it and that we don't have to do it anymore. And that feels like that's something there, that you're carrying something with you for a long time. It's not yours. It's like being weighed down, and it's like time to let that go.
No suffering anymore.
No suffering anymore. The cross-carrying thing is an obsolete hologram. It's time for it to disappear. Yeah. I'm also seeing something around your ankles, Jackie, where it's like there's an energy that part of your unconscious believes that is grounding you, but it's holding your feet. It's as though you're flying, but your feet have manacles on almost.
And ball and chain.
Yeah, ball and chain.
Yes, and it's an energy that comes from that old paradigm of caring for yourself, caring for others. You know, the weight of the world on your shoulders. You know, there are reasons we have these sayings. You know, what if you are running a little bit of the Atlas program, you know, carrying the world, and you could shrug? What does that make you feel?
I can feel it release when I shrug.
Can you feel the part of you that thinks that's irresponsible and selfish?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
sure
let that go. Let's let that go. The world carrying thing is the divine's job, not ours.
I feel that.
Good. And just allow those chains around, the collars around your ankle to dissolve. They are dissolving. You do not need to ground yourself in that way. There's a different form of service that you are brilliantly performing right now. You show your heart in such an amazing way. And so you don't need to ground through anything else but your heart anymore.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I feel that.
All right. And I can see Jackie shining even brighter now. This is quite beautiful.
Oh, the lights that you already brought to us, that was also already amazing, so it's now even brighter. It's, yeah, just shine. And,
Excellent.
oh, there's just one thing to mention. Your creativity, my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know what you do, but see lots of colors, and I don't know if it's something to do with painting or drawing or everything in that kind of way, but you have a very beautiful and colorful artistic way to express yourself, and you really may stand for it.
All
Many
right.
books coming forth.
Yeah. Okay, 2:35.
I'm going to wrap up with Leslie.
Yeah.
Leslie's
Okay.
Hi, Leslie.
Hi everybody.
Hi.
This has really been wonderful, and I also didn't know what to expect, but I've loved everything so far. So I do have a question, and I know that Tina knows that I've been involved with Malati since January, and I've loved everything that motivated me to go forward with all of that and to do some webinars, and I got really excited, and I got my website going, and it was like, yes, everything's kind of like going. And then I did my last webinar, and I got a puppy, and I feel like everything just got like wiped off the board. And I feel like, where was I? What was I doing? And it's just disappeared. All my energy just kind of like evaporated. And I'm just feeling like, blah. I feel like a big blob, like I hadn't even started.
Well, Mother Earth, Mother Nature is calling you. She's really calling you to get out, to get into the woods, to get grounded again, to feed yourself with nature's ingredients, and it's like you've been working very, very hard on everything you want to come out with by your work, and to give it a kind of a face. And sometimes you forget about yourself, and your connection with Mother Earth is a very fine connection. So really take some hours on a day to be grounded again, to get grounded again, and enjoy nature and enjoy some trees. You really got something with trees, so do something with it.
Well, thank you. Well, having a puppy, I do that. I get out twice a day for a couple of hours walking the dog, so I'm enjoying it a lot, but it seems like my forward movement with my work has kind of come to a standstill.
Yeah, but it's about by the knowing in the moments that you are connected with Mother Earth. It's of course it's also about walking with puppy, but it's also about say to the puppy, well, now you have to sit down and be quiet, and I want you to lay down against the tree to feel my connection with Mother Earth again.
Okay.
But there's I see no blockades. I see no blockades. It's only that you can also put your door open to receive, to invite the people coming to you with specific there he goes again, specific questions where you can put your quality into and to support. Invite those people in your heart, in your mind. They are there. They're just waiting out for your call, because they are not aware totally of you doing the job and showing yourself. So with
Thank you.
Yeah, there's something with those trees. Find it out, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And
Nalini,
Tina,
would you like to share anything to wrap up, and then we'll close for today?
Well, there were two very short things that came in for Leslie. One is, that's what long leashes are for. You have a similar light body configuration to the way that trees function, the roots in the heart of the Earth Mother, the branches in the stars. And so part of spending time with them is to resonate with that. And also your lovely little four-legged is showing you that four-leggeds walk with their heart facing the Earth Mother. They are always in resonance with the Earth. You can use that heart line any time to connect. The bipeds, the upright ones that we are, we walk with our hearts facing one another. And you're being called and transformed to handle both now. And so I think in wrapping, maybe that's for all of us, is it's the heart facing the earth for whatever part of us has forgotten the heart of our Earth Mother, from which our bodies come, and then the heart that faces one another, and allowing the light stream to feed both.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful. I would like to say thank you everyone for your time, for being here. We've gone over the time even. I'm sure that we could go on for hours and still have plenty to share.
Tina, let me interrupt you. Tina, just before you do the last thing, there were a couple of questions. How do people connect with you before you do the next one of these with either of you? And I'm guessing Facebook will be your answer, but maybe you can just let everybody know how to best contact you.
Well, I would invite everyone to come and join Whispering Energy if you're not already on there. Facebook, go to Whispering Energy and you're going to find all of us interacting there. You will find Nalini, she has a page on Facebook called Be Heart Space, B-E Heart Space, Be Heart Space. And Nalini also has a beautiful website called delphicwave.com and beheartspace.com. She has beautiful class offerings there. I highly recommend. And in fact, you know, Janice, I would say if you have the opportunity to experience a session with Nalini, oh my Lord, you will be saying thank you in big letters for having this suggestion. I can assure you, it's a gift. And for Cok, you can find him on Facebook as well.
I'm not here. I'm taking a holiday.
Oh, no, you don't.
We're slowly, yeah, he thinks he is, but we're slowly reeling him in. So go and sprinkle some love on his page. We will. What I will do is actually I will post something on the Whispering Energy page, and you will find all our information there. And yeah, that's the easiest way.
Thank you all.
Yes, thank you all very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Many joyful blessings. Thank you for being here. Thank you for holding the space for one another. And I invite you to allow all of this to settle into your heart. Allow that to ripple out into the world so that we can shine and shine. If you need support in any way, please reach out to one another on Facebook, share on the Whispering Energy page, and let's be there for each other to really show the world that it is possible that we can be here for one another. Shine and shine.
Yeah. Yay.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.